What up, YouTube? We back at it again. We got it. We got it. We got it with some Stray Kids. We're looking at Maniac. I was requested this. Right away the visuals. We got this dual gravity kind of two worlds crashing to one another. That already could have symbolism with kind of the group itself in the way that they sort of approach their music. With how music is sort of overall in general accepted in Korea, or sort of supposed to be, versus what they do, which is very sort of outside the norm, creating their own world, creating their own space. The one that they're standing on is very, all the buildings are very straight up and down. Everything looks very, very plain, very normal, very cookie cutter city. The one that's colliding with it is just in complete chaos, right? All the buildings, everything is scattered. There's cars flying everywhere. Like, everything looks very, very different. There's just a lot more going on in the world up top than the world down below. I'm not sure if I'm on the right video. I hope I am, because I already kind of started reacting to nothing. Do me a favor, if you're new to my channel, run over to Stray Kids and run over to their channel, support them, subscribe to their stuff, watch their stuff. It's very thought provoking. It's always the production value is always 10 out of 10. It's choreography, dancing, singing, rapping, just all the skills are there, and the way they put it together in a very, very different way is super cool to watch, super cool to see. So it's always very sort of intriguing and interesting. If you like what I do, please like over there, comment down below, subscribe. Let's dive into Maniac. Oh, I might need subtitles here for some of it or all of it. I have no idea what language this is in. They're already in a diner. It's interesting, and they got just crazy stuff going. It's interesting because in was it God's Menu? They were talking about, we can kind of cook up the food that anybody wants. So they're starting at breakfast, man. They're starting early. Let's go. Relax, just coming out firing. Relax, everyone. Stop pretending to be normal. And then he says, all your smiles look weird. I love that. Stop pretending. Stop putting on this facade that everything is fine and that you're normal on the, you're normal on the outside when we all know inside you're not. Let it out. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Enjoy your abnormal. We do. We love it. With the Lock is released, we're all the same. So the title of the song is Maniac. So essentially saying that we all got a little crazy in us. Unlock it. Let's all be crazy together. The real self has been released, right? If you want breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. Got it. The real self has been released. I like that. So just, we're talking about, like, dig deep. There's more to you than this facade, right? Barely holding on after blinking once. Again, back to cosplaying. What society defines as normal, defines normal to be. Yeah, that's a great line there. So, essentially saying that, like, so cosplaying is putting on costumes to transform into a character, but they're saying that humanity, we are doing that as what society dictates is quote unquote normal. Back to cosplaying what society defines as normal, right? So they're saying kind of just be you. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have to conform to any societal standards. Notice how, like, exactly what I was talking about. You got suit and tie crowd, right? If you've ever been to, like, Eastern countries, Korea, Japan, like, you have the day-to-day crowd. I've never been to Korea, but in Japan I noticed everybody literally dressed the same. He's out there in his pink stripes. He's got his white fluffy hat on. He's being abnormal within the normal. So they're all riding the same train. They all have the same destination, quote unquote, in life. But he's embracing his crazy, everybody else is putting on the exact same sort of quote unquote cosplay suit and doing the same, the same thing society dictates they do. They're going to their job day to day. They ride the same train, the same time. They wear the same clothes, the same color tie, the same color suit. Everybody looks exactly the same, except for they're sort of loving their weird, right? And they're all on their phones too. What you say there? Back to cosplaying, yeah. On the inside, I'm always a freaky monster. So, mash up, mind blow, put my mind back up. So prototype, my mind back up. Prototype on the inside, I'm always a freaky monster. So on the outside, prototypical, meaning conform to be the same as, right? Or essentially in this context, yeah. But on the inside, I'm always a freaky monster. Aren't we all, right? He's just putting it out there, right? And now you see all of the crazy coming out. That's when the animations come in. Sorry, I pause a lot, especially with stuff like this. If you don't like it, I got the original link below, but I'm assuming you came here for my breakdown. But if you didn't, then I'm sorry. I do pause a lot. So you got all of the crazy coming out, right? And you see this with the animations. We got a screw loose. We got boom, different things going on, and it's all sorts of crazy coming out, right? And now the prototypical people are gone, and you got stray kids in there, just running havoc, letting the inside out, right? Kindness is no longer trending, now rotten, right? It's cool nowadays. You have even on YouTube, you have channels that do well that are made specifically for negativity and trolling, that just come at everybody, right? And there's people that do that too, because any publicity is good publicity, right? So if being kind isn't working for you, a lot of people will just revert to hate. So kindness is no longer trending. That's facts. And that's that sort of kind of counterculture sort of mentality with everybody's trying to bring everybody down. And this starts at the top. I'm not going to get too political, but this starts at the top. And with media being controlled by and large by government, by and large by money, a lot of it is there's a lot of money being made from divisiveness. So they say like hate breeds hate, right? So it's sort of in the same sense that if the creation of this of anger, of hate, actually does create money to the top. So it's kindness is no longer trending. That's facts. If we all got along, there's a lot of money in war. You can come at me all you want. I'll ignore it. It's fine. Do what you got to do. I'm gonna do me. If you think you're just pure and innocent, you're wrong. What do you say? Yeah. If you think again, that goes back to putting on a show. If you're acting pure and innocent, then you're just being fake. No one is. Everybody has demons inside. They're just choosing to embrace it and sort of let it out and enjoy their crazy. I like it. We got a bird, and then so we have a beautiful whimsical little bird flying through, and then we got a drill just breaking the screen, right? So that goes back to sort of a drill is something used to penetrate something that's otherwise already fixed and kind of normal in its place, right? You take a 2x4, you put a drill through it, we've now poked a hole in it, right? So you take societal standards and you poke a hole in it. Now it's abnormal from the rest of the 2x4s. It's a stupid analogy, but that's kind of what they're getting at is they're trying to crack the screen. They're drilling into what your societal norms are. You can have your norms. We're gonna do us, and we're gonna hang on to our power tools while we do it. Like a loose screw, and there's loose screws kind of trickle throughout with the animations and whatnot. And drills, by the way, once you poke that hole, you then take a loose screw, you then fill it, right? Now you have a screw that's out of place. in something, or a screw can be meant to bind one and the other. We talk about the two Earths or the two worlds kind of connecting, or colliding, if you will. A screw, a loose screw, can be used to mend those. So what we're talking about is it might take maniacs to bring the two together, to bring what was otherwise divided by society together. It's going to take some crazy, but we can do it with some loose screws, right? Because screws are meant to adhere things to each other, in a way that I can hang a TV on a wall, it's going to stay there, right? I can screw a piece of wood into another piece of wood that doesn't look anything like it. They will stay together, right? And it started with a loose screw.
Maniac, Frankenstein.
Maniac like Frankenstein. Those who don't know, Frankenstein was made. He had loose screws that were then put into his neck to help kind of get. I think it's to help with his to plug him in essentially. But he was made from different parts of all different things, and all different. I think, different, like there was like robotics used, there was people used. It was Frankenstein was just a mix up of all different sorts of shit. I like that used in this. And the store is called Ordinary Store. It's not your ordinary store, it's your ordinary store. It's where you find us. You find us with the odds, not the evens.
처럼 걸어 maniac, maniac. maniac. 나서 빠진 것처럼 무슨 maniac. 너머리 같이 maniac. 비정상 등성이 maniac, maniac. 다 터진 형식 밥처럼.
I like that. Even in the choreography, it makes sense alongside the song, because we have this long thread that's connecting one side of the screen to the other side of the screen, right? We have a harmonious connection. He cut it. And he put himself right in the middle of it. That's your loose screw. That's your maniac. That's your loose screw that's going to connect the two. That's going to help better, that's going to help this thread, maintain a stronger sort of connection into the future. Threads are thin. They're easily breakable. Screws are not. It's not an easy life. It ain't life. It's holding on. And he was just holding on to. He was just holding on to one of those things that in the subway. And again, everybody in shot right now except for this dude is pretty much looking the other direction, right? So we're talking about everybody's focused on one thing and one path, a path that's carved out for them, that's pounded into their heads by their parents, by society, by media, by a political system, by your friends, by your whatever, your family. Everything that's around you drives you to be who you are, shapes and molds you into waking up and putting this suit on every day at the exact same time, eating the exact same thing, showing up at work at the exact same time, leaving work, going to the same bar after work, eating the same thing for lunch. And then you have him who's he's going to be your oddity. He shopped at the Ordinary Store. He's dressed different. He's going to be your loose screw, your maniac on that train. Relax, everybody. Stop pretending to be normal. It goes back to the cosplay sense. You're putting on a fake. Stop. Right? All of your smiles aren't fresh. See right here, and again back to the visuals that go along with this. So all of his personalities he just let out, right? He's got one outside kind of looking in, just watching, watching as everything, all parts of this, we're letting all of the loose screw out, right? We've got enough screws loose in here to mend a lot of things. So let's embrace that. The street I'm walking on is a minefield. So minefields are explosive. You don't know where to step, right? That's back to playing off, what's going on upstairs and letting out this explosiveness, right? We've got fireballs coming across the street. Let out your weird. Like I just said, like a dormant volcano. You never know when it'll explode, right? So when you do conform, you're building up. When you keep your weird, your demons, your whatever inside, that builds up. That becomes explosive, because once you pile on, all of that, all of those things, those elements of it could be negativity, it could be demons, it could be love, it could be just layers and layers and layers of an onion that make you up. If you compartmentalize that and you lock it away inside, if you don't release that, it will come out at some point, and people do explode. Everyone had themselves like a seal tornado, like that. Now we're upside down again. So they started off on the normal planet, right? And as the song comes sort of full circle, now we've got two different gravitational pulls. Now they're on the chaotic one. Now they're upside down. They've flipped the script, right? And that peaceful, that peaceful bird is still kind of showing his face. It's harmonious. So it takes collision initially, or at least an understanding that we need to be true to ourselves and let out who we really are to actually achieve that harmony, right?
Maniac.
And then he flipped it on his head again, right? So now we're just turning the world, right? Now all their birds are loose. We got multiple birds flying around.
Frankenstein처럼 걸어 maniac, maniac. 나서 빠진 것처럼 무서운 maniac. 핑핑 돌아버리겠지 maniac. 비정상품성이 진단 maniac, maniac.
Eyes filled with lunatic. He sounds great right here. Locked up, well, wrapped up in a pretty package. It's kind of like the bird, right? So the bird's beautiful, right? But usually birds are caged, right? Their birds were loose, so we want to let the birds loose, let the crazy out, right? Let the beauty out, because there is beauty in crazy. Let's run back his vocals here. He sounds fantastic. As time goes by, it'll eventually be revealed. That goes back to being explosive, right? The inner self that was hidden. And that was symbolic there, him jumping off the building. It's essentially it sort of represents a leap of faith, right? We're jumping in between both the worlds. We've got gravitational pull below and above us. So let's see if we can find middle ground and float. So that's the leap of faith, to see if we can find a happy median of, obviously some balance with your crazy, your chaos, and what society dictates and states as is the norm, right?
Maniac. Maniac.
I like the significance of the brain too, because that's again where we store a lot of that. Now they're back on the normal Earth, not the chaotic one, right? The cookie cutter buildings. Look up top, everything's a lot crazier. Back to the drill. We will create holes for our screw loose, no doubt. There's our bird, and he's caged again. Awesome. I think I said enough as I went. Sorry that I took 20 minutes of your time. I do pause a lot. There's a lot of meaning behind this, but I think ultimately at its core, it just basically be true to yourself, and there's nothing wrong with letting out who you actually are. You don't have to conform to shit. Those who are actually there for you will embrace that crazy. Those who aren't can kind of fuck off, right? Anyways, that's what I got for now. If you like, please like over there, comment down below, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next.